Well, this is how my morning starts. I got Hampton hid back here in the woods. When I ride into a place I can't find someone to tie him up with, I just stash him in the woods somewhere. Come get him in the morning. It's got to be a place where people can't see him, or they'll be at it all night long with the cops or whoever. You know, hey, a horse, man. I always wanted a horse like this. It's clouded up today, so we could be getting some rain. Get used to it. Well, I'll be glad to be into some colder weather, because Hampton, the mosquitoes just bother him all night long. So a good freeze to knock these guys down would be good. D'accord. D'accord. They're checking to see when the tank is full. Checking to see if belly's full. Mon chong yo mu ma mu la. Nó thì po magadasi. Nó thì po magadasi. There's a little kid's house that any kids would love to have. Really cute. Windows, screens, double Dutch door. You bet. Never quits eating. Always eating Hampton. Heck, he's getting 20 pounds a day of grain. Still eating, man. Good old Hampton. This is Weaver Cemetery on the way to Mount Vernon on the 69 highway. Hampton's getting something to eat, but man, there's a lot of mosquitoes. We're going to be glad to have some winter, some ice to knock down these mosquitoes, man. Well, from my office on the road, I just got through to George Bush's office and got a address I can send the Journal of the Golden Triangle drug war to George Bush. And so we're going to send him a copy of the ACA Journal, Cry Freedom, about the drug war in Thailand. It was worked out between him and Thaksin Shinawatra, the DEA in Chiang Mai, and the U.S. Embassy. And the U.S. Embassy and the consulate in Chiang Mai took no visible action during that drug war to rebuke the Thais. Matter of fact, the DEA at the end of the year said it'd been a good year. So there's really no reason to have this big DEA force in Chiang Mai. I mean, they could viably quite well be in Ukiah, California as well. Be a little bit closer to home and save the taxpayer money. So those are some of our concerns. And anyway, I'll get a book out to George Bush, and I'm sure he knows that we were at his front door, Hampton and I, for a couple days. We got about 11 miles to head down this road to Mount Vernon, Texas. And see what kind of wildlife we can see along the way. It's fall, as you can see. Didn't rain much today yet. Maybe tomorrow we'll take off, give Hampton a rest, and get some of our computer work done. And there's a lot of mosquitoes, man. So we're about 90 miles from Texarkana. Texarkana, as they call it. Too bad about Louisiana, but we listen a lot to people on the road, ask people questions and talk to them. And when we hear from a lot of people that a lot of the places in Louisiana, there's a lot of gang violence, and it's not safe. I think that the government of Louisiana should take that to heart and get their act together. Maybe they need a few Thai cops to come over and show them how it's done. They don't have gangs in Thailand to speak of. It's a very short-lived occupation. There's a great old house empty, but it's got a story you can tell. Just a neighbor for cows now. Now this is the quick stop in Saltillo, Texas. And let me tell you, Saltillo, S-A-L-T-I-L-L-O, Texas, on the way to Mount Vernon. They got a bunch of tables in here and you can sit down and get a meal, and it's one of the nicest places. Good service and a place for folks to sit down. Isn't that right, Hampton? That's not a water tank, that's a silo. There's a door on it. Different. And it's the Franklin County line. About 4 o'clock we're headed for Mount Vernon, a couple more miles, 4 or 5. And there's 2 kinds of counties in Texas. Wet counties and dry counties. And this is dry county because there's no beer bottles side the road much, I guess. Big ol' ass mosquitoes though. Ask Hampton. Looks like this rail is still getting used, but this bridge is old, man. Look at these rickety old tracks. But there's been a train down it because it's fresh on top of the rails, so pretty old though. This has got to be one of the most interesting courthouses. Cupola on top in downtown Mount Vernon, Franklin County. Got a clock on all 4 sides. Not sure if it's working, but what's that matter? It's good looking. One of the more interesting downtowns since probably Snyder. Maybe Weatherford. Not quite as busy as Weatherford. Alright, here we are at the junction in Mount Vernon. Headed back for Sulphur Springs. A little bit late, about 6:47, a little bit later than like we'd like to get started on our way back, because pretty soon people can't see us. But there we is. We got to go about 25 miles that way. So I'm in this small town, any small town in America, and you know, it's a real common denominator in these small towns is that there's no Wi-Fi, and you're lucky to find a coffee shop. And you know, if these small towns are going to want to survive, they're going to need to do some real basic things like a cookie cutter, and offer real basic services to keep the community alive and make them interesting to visitors and to their own people. But that's the biggest thing I noticed. There's not Wi-Fi. I was talking to the Postal Service today. He says that their deliveries are way down because people are using the internet. But small towns haven't figured that out, and they haven't put in Wi-Fi for their communities.